Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video I am going to show you this beautiful little palette that I received a few weeks ago, and it is from KKW and it is the Mrs. West eyeshadow palette, a 6-pan palette, and the blush that I got from the same collection, the Flower Wall. If you would like to see how I achieved this look using these products, please keep watching. Before we get into the video guys, I just want to say thank you for joining me. I hope you are all safe and well and taking care of yourselves as well as others. If you are new to this channel, I really thank you for joining me, and if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. This is a channel where I share makeup tutorials, beauty reviews and other really fun things for the over 50 woman, because I believe we can still be fab over 50. So if that sounds like you, please subscribe to my channel. So for all of you watching my videos, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to tune in. Now, in these really uncertain and topsy-turvy times, I decided today I really needed to put some makeup on. It's taken me about a week for me to decide. I really actually need to get up each day, and I think I probably will film a video each day so that I get up, put my makeup on and start the day on the right foot. I needed the week, I think, to regather everything, because it was I had another 2 weeks to go with work, and that just sort of ended abruptly, and the last 2 or 3 days at work were just quite surreal, because it was just an end to it. That was that. Our country, New Zealand, went into a 4-week mandatory lockdown. We're in a state of emergency, so we're only allowed to go for brief walks in our own area. We're not allowed to leave home, and unless we're going for essential services. Now, if you think I'm talking funny, I am. I broke my tooth on the weekend, and it has got a very, very sharp part of it right at the back of my mouth, and it has sliced and diced my mouth to smithereens. I did go and have it temporarily patched yesterday. They are not allowed to do full dental work, and it was just a matter of them doing what they could to help. I actually think part of the patch has fallen off because one of the jagged edges is still wreaking havoc and still catching my tongue and ripping it. So I am not speaking how I normally would speak. Please forgive me for that. I think I'm going to be like this for the duration of the lockdown, so all my videos going forward I am going to talk a little bit funny, I believe. The KKW Mrs. West collection, I was gutted when this was released last year and I missed out. It sold out so quickly that I didn't get a chance even to get onto the website. So I was not expecting it to be relaunched, but it was recently, and I ordered from the site the eyeshadow palette and the blush. I love the colours in this palette. They are right up my alley. Very neutral, very girly, and definitely more on the pinky tone. And the blush, absolutely love this. It's soft, it's sweet. I thought it was going to be too light for me when it arrived, but I have really been enjoying this blush. I'm a wee bit late posting my review of these items, because when I order from overseas it can take up to 4 weeks for products from the US to arrive here in New Zealand. I did order it well before the lockdown and before things got quite crazy in the world, so I have been sitting on it, and there's been other things to deal with before I have been able to do a tutorial for you. So here are the swatches of the eyeshadow palette, Mrs. West. From left to right we have Please Marry Me, Etched in Stone, Mrs. West, Field of Dreams, May 24, and Just Married. In this photo I am showing you some alternatives that I found in my single eyeshadows All of these alternatives are Makeup Geek singles, and so I'll go from left to right. We have the first colour, Please Marry Me, from the Mrs. West palette. Then we have Makeup Geek Artemis, Rapunzel. I do think Artemis is closer to the Please Marry Me in the palette. Etched in Stone from the KKW palette, and I could not find an alternative to this. Mrs. West from the KKW palette, and the closest I could find to that was Starry Eyed, although this is a little bit cooler and a little bit lighter. The next colour is from the KKW palette, and it is Field of Dreams. And the closest colour I could find to that was Tuscan Sun, and it's just probably a tad warmer than maybe the Mrs. West. Then we have May 24, and the closest colour I have for that is Mocha. And then from the palette we have Just Married, and the closest colour I found for that was Americano, but I would have to say that the Just Married colour is just so much more pigmented and a lot more depth to it. I also need to mention that I also feel that with all of these, the KKW shadows were just far more pigmented when I was swatching these. Okay, so I'm just going to prime my eyes with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eye Primer. This one's a little bit more emollient and creamy than the Anastasia eyeshadow primer. And the gorgeousness of this palette is just soft and beautiful, and I love it. So what I'm going to do first is take this colour here, which is Etched in Stone. And I'm going to take a Zoeva 228 Luxe Crease Brush. This is just a travel size of it. And I'm going to pop that all over the lid, setting that eye primer. And it's a really, really pale dusky pink, or a really, really pale pink. Keeping with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is, I'm picking Field of Dreams, and I'm just going to tap that in the outer corner of my eye as I struggle to speak with my very sore tongue. And I'm just going to build that up in the outer portion of the eye and blending that all out. And then taking it in to the upper crease area, my meaty part of the eye area under the brow, but not quite all the way to the brow. So whilst I'm doing little circular motions with the brush, I'm also dragging it across in window shield wiper movements, just to add that depth to the transition area. Okay, I've just played with the ISO a little bit to try and see if you can see the colour a little bit better. It seemed a little bit light just before, so I've put it on auto just to save any grief at the moment, so hopefully it comes out okay. So now I'm going to go in with this middle shade, May 24th, and I've got this Sonia G Crease Pro Brush, and I'm just going to tap that in the outer corner. To add some depth there, and just keep it in the outer corner. And just tapping that in and deepening up that outer corner. It's a really pretty brown. I really like this. It's like a cognac brown. And I'm going to go back with the Zoeva brush and just blend that together. I'm going to take a Sigma large shader brush E40 and I'm going to take this colour here, which is Mrs. West, and apply that to my inner lid. This is very, you don't need to wet it. Taking this on your G brush and then just blending that brown into the Mrs. West. Just add a bit more there, looking straight ahead and just putting that up. Towards the inner portion of my eyebrow. Then with no extra product in the Zoeva brush again, just blending that all in. Like so. Now I'm going to take a flat definer brush. I'm going to take the very deep brown in here, Just Married, and actually no, I'm going to take Hard Angled Diviner brush by Benefit and that Just Married dark brown, and I might tap it on the back of my hand because I don't want to fall out on my eye, and I'm just going to tap that across the lash line. I must admit, from all the KKW eyeshadows that I have, I've loved all of them, and this palette is no exception. I love how easily they blend and the pigmentation of them. I'm going to take a little Morphe M321 brush and I'm just going to take this colour here, Fields of Dreams, and just run that under my eye. And then I'm just going to go a little bit with this shade here, May 24, and just go on the outer under eye. And then lifting my eye a bit in the corner so that I get that little gap where the skin folds over. Sometimes I get a little wee white patch where there's been no colour in there. And then just blending those two lines together so that they all match up. And just making sure we're all blended with no harsh lines. Ideally, if this was going to be a more softer look, I would use a brown eyeliner, but today I just feel like my NARS black eyeliner for my tight line. And I'm just going to use a wee sample of this Big Ego Tarte mascara on my lashes. Can't sort of get the angle right on the camera. I've spent so long trying to set up next door that today's been quite hard setting up again in here with all my settings and placement of the camera, but we got there, I think. Now this would have to be my favourite blush of the moment. It was the Cover FX Pink Dahlia blush, but I absolutely love this Flower Wall blush from KKW. I do struggle opening it sometimes. It's a very small package, great for travel. It has a wee mirror in it that I don't tend to use, but I love the blush, and I must admit when it first arrived I thought it wasn't going to suit me because I thought it was far too pale. However, it is a beautiful soft colour, and I just am so happy that I got this. And using my Sonia G Cheek Pro brush, just adding that to my cheekbones. I've already contoured and bronzed. And when I'm using pink blushes, I like to use my Dior Skin Air Nude Luminizer in 001. It is more on the pinky side than it is a goldy colour, so I really like this when wearing pink blushes. And I'm using my Anastasia A23 highlighter brush. And on my lips I've got my favourite lip gloss, which is the Fenty Fussy. Okay guys, so that is the finished look using the KKW Mrs. West eyeshadow palette and the beautiful blush in Flower Wall. I am so happy I got it this time. I was gutted because I missed out last time, but I got an alert on my phone this time and it wasn't in the middle of the night when I was sleeping, so I was able to go straight onto the site and get this. I will leave links down below if you are able to still snag yourself these items. I am struggling with the internet at the moment because everyone is at home and my daughter is studying, so she needs the computer to do her tutorials online, and my son has to work from home between the hours of 8:30 and 5, and he's on the internet while he is here, so the internet is very sluggish at the moment, so I can't double check that, but I will leave links down below if you are still able to get these gorgeous little items. But I hope you enjoyed that quick little tutorial, guys. As I said, I really wanted this the first time it was launched, and I'm so happy that I got it this time. If you enjoyed that, guys, I'd really appreciate if you could give the video a thumbs up. That would truly help me out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. I do hope that you are all safe and well, that you are happy and safe with your loved ones. Do take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later, guys. Bye.